What's going on, everybody? This is Sunaak here, bringing you another draft analysis video for the channel. Today's draft analysis, we're looking over the team that I drafted for the IBA Season 6 Singles League. Alrighty, and going over the draft, we have a new set of rules this time around for the Singles League. Alrighty, for this league, it's going to be kind of different. It was my very first point system type draft, so it was very interesting kind of going into this, not knowing what to pick up right away since it is a new generation. A whole bunch of new Pokemon to play with, a whole bunch of new things to go around. So it was just pretty fun to kind of just start and kind of experiencing new Pokemon. We start with 120 points each. Every player must have 10 to 12 Pokemon, and a player will each draft one Terra type. Since we are playing to a timer and on the Wi-Fi of this game, banned moves were enlisted here, and it was all the recovery moves. So there are a few items that have been banned. So the booster energy for the Paradox Pokemon, the King's Rock, the Bright Powder, anything that would cause flinching or missing like that. So as well as banned moves, that's all the recovery moves that you can think of. All the self recovery moves. So like Recover, Roost, Soft Boiled, all those different type of moves. And also Revival Blessing has been banned as well. So there's only 12 moves that have been banned, but not too bad since you could still use like Bitter Blade, all those like damaging healing moves, so like Giga Drain and all those type moves are still allowed. And another thing that's going to be happening too in these matches as well is that if it goes to timer, whoever the winning team is, instead of rematching and fixing up to the point or going to showdown or anything like that, the winner will be determined by the timer if necessary. So kind of hoping not to run into many of those, but you know, unfortunately, Game Freak not fixing the timer, it is what it is. But without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the Pokemon and the team that we drafted this time around. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the very first pick, which cost me 17 points, is Meowscarada. So we ended up getting Meowscarada because it is a really, really great offensive threat, and I wanted something extremely fast, and that is currently the fastest Pokemon that I have on my team. And it has a base speed of 123, and a base attack stat of 110. I wanted this thing because it does get really good pivot moves as well. You know, like it does get really good moves, but it is more of like a one-trick kind of Pokemon, unfortunately. So it can be kind of baited out here and there, but it does get the ability Protean. So it is very, very nice. It was nerfed this gen, but I personally still think it's really good, especially since you can either run it, either ability, Overgrow or Protean. You'll see how it goes. I'll see how it goes throughout this week's matches and stuff, because as of recording this, I've already done my first 2 weeks. Meowscarada is going to be a really good Pokemon. It helps me pivot in and out when I need to. It's very fast. It can get some stuff set up, and I'm very much looking forward to Meowscarada. Honestly, it's a very fun Pokemon, and if you have not tried it out, please do so yourself. That was my first round pick, and then we went ahead and actually for the second round, I drafted the Terra type immediately. I don't think anyone was going to do it right away because they were more focused on trying to get Pokemon and building around that. I wanted to try to get the Terra typing as soon as I can, and once I did, I kind of built the team a little bit around that as well. So we went ahead and drafted the Steel Terra typing, which I think arguably might be the best Terra typing in the game, to be honest. So kind of wanted to pick it up. I think I'm mainly going to be using it for more defenses. To be honest, with Terra coming in, it changes the ball game immediately. So I went with Steel because it does have a lot of defenses. So after that, I ended up picking up Garganacl. He is like the new Gigalith to me, so of this generation. So I'm very, very excited for this Pokemon, especially with his all three abilities are really good. The only one I might say it might be the worst one for him, since he has a lot of HP and bulk, is probably going to be that Sturdy ability, because depending on what you leave it in, his defenses are 130, his physical defense, and he also has a base 90 of special D, and also a base 100 in HP. So it's kind of like you're probably not going to be getting one shot all too often. It's a very good walling potential, especially with that Steel Terra typing. And even with the Purifying Salt, I don't even have to worry about poison, paralysis. I don't have to worry about anything, as well as even lowering ghost type moves. So that's always a bonus. For my third round pick, I ended up getting Salamence for 15 points. I think Salamence is a very, very good Pokemon. I was kind of thinking Roaring Moon, to be honest, in the beginning. However, Caleb, or Arsenal MC, of the Haw River Houndooms, ended up picking up Roaring Moon as his very first Pokemon for the first round. So it was kind of too late to pick up on those. But anyway, I went with Salamence because I really wanted some very fast offensive threats this time around, especially with the ability to Intimidate to help you lower some attack and everything and kind of help you even further with bulkiness, as well as even being very selfish and very, very deadly with that Moxie ability. I mean, to be honest, when haven't you seen Salamence kind of be scary in any kind of league, to be completely honest? Next up, we have Abomasnow, because to be completely honest, if I had to pick between like the weathers and stuff like that, there's only 3 Pokemon right now that can set up weather like with just an ability. It's either Pelipper, Torkoal, and Abomasnow. Torkoal I think already got picked up by this point. I'm not 100% sure, as well as Pelipper, so I think those were already gone. I probably would have run Snow anyway, so I think with the buffs and everything in this generation where, you know, ice types actually get a defense boost in Snow is actually really, really cool. Very, very interested with Abomasnow since he's the only one that can really set up Snow with an ability. I picked him up for that, and I think Abomasnow is a really good offensive threat as well. Can go mixed either way, but with base 92 in both attack and special attack, as well as just a little bit of bulk. You know, 90 HP is not too bad. It's just that its typing can be kind of worse for wear, but with that Steel Terra typing. Next up, we have Serul Edge for 13 points. Wanted to try out another new Pokemon. I was going to go Armarouge, to be honest, because I think personally for me, I prefer the defenses and the special attack. And I think at this point, I was getting way too many physical attackers. Unfortunately, I got sniped by Caleb with that one. It is what it is, but I think, to be fair, both the ability Flash Fire and Weak Armor can be really, really good. I use more Flash Fire, to be completely honest. Some kind of spoilers, so if you're a coach watching this, don't listen to me. And unfortunately, I think this is where the new Pokemon end for me. I only drafted 3 new Pokemon this time around, but to be honest, I was just fine with it. I think I'm excited to see all the other teams and see how they run them. Next up, we have Cryogonal for 4 points. So kind of going and reserving some points here and there. And I thought Cryogonal would be a really great fit for the team. Cryogonal is kind of fast as well. So it also can do some special attacking damage. So it's really good. The only problem is that it does have just a pure ice typing. So it can't resist really much of anything other than itself. But that's where the Steel Terra comes into play. It also is a Rapid Spinner and as well as an Ice Spinner. So I can keep it as a very good defensive Pokemon. It can help me set up some things with the Hail. I'm very excited to use it. And I think compared to this one, I forget what the other choice was. But I think, to be honest, I wanted to go with Cryogonal because I never used one before. So I want to try to use Pokemon I've never really touched before. Next up, we have Gyarados for 10 points. Very, very good offensive threat as well. Similar to Salamence, it has Intimidate and Moxie. It could be another good setup mon. I think another good Dragon Dance user. It has a really interesting move pool because it's funny because its special attack is only 60, but it has a lot of really great special moves. So you can kind of trick people that way, but it's not too preferred, especially since its base attack is 125. Next up, we have Raichu for 6 points with the ability Static and Lightning Rod. I wanted to get Raichu because I think it was a really good fit with Gyarados. Can help him prevent some of that electric by completely being immune to it with that Lightning Rod. Fast Pokemon, gets Fake Out. Gets Volt Switch, very good pivot Pokemon. I think it's a very good utility mon. I think it's really good with Nuzzle as well, so you can get some para as well as some damage too. So I'm very excited to pick up Raichu. It's kind of, I think it's a little slept on because there's other Pokemon that probably do Fake Out better, you know, maybe like Grimmsnarl, stuff like that. Probably better typing wise. Kind of excited to see how Raichu goes. Never really used one before, but I was excited about that Fake Out and the Volt Switch opportunities and stuff. So I love me some pivots and singles. So especially with the game, it's kind of either hard switch, U-turn, Volt Switch, or flip turn, all that stuff. So I think I'd rather get some Pokemon that can kind of do either or. So love me the Raichu. Next up, we have Lucario for 11 points. Lucario was another big pick for me because it's a mixed attacker with either 110 attack as well as 115 special attack. So, and it also has a base speed of 90, so it's kind of fast, but a little bit on the frailer side with 70 defenses and HP as well. So kind of Need to be careful with that. With its move pool, either going physical or special, I think it's a really good attacker depending on what I might need for the week. I was trying to get more special attackers around this point too, and I thought Lucario would be a great fit, especially with the, like I said, the Steel Terra typing and its fighting and steel stabs. So kind of interesting. Next up, we got Florges for 10 points. Really heavily on the special here because its special attack is 112, and I'm surprised it lasted this long. I needed a fairy Pokemon, and Florges was there, and honestly, really great pick with an outstanding special defense of 154 base, as well as 112 special attack. So it's a very good special threat, as well as a special wall. I'm excited to use Florges. I've never used one before. I always see them and I'm thinking like, I never touch it because, you know, Sylveon's there, but I think Sylveon got picked the first round, like off the bat. So kind of not surprised there, but picked up Florges. I'm not too happy about its abilities because unfortunately Flower Veil works on doubles as well as symbiosis. So unfortunately those abilities are going to be a little bit, unfortunately, not useful to me. But very much looking forward to it. It's a very good Pokemon, has a very diverse special move pool, so very excited for that Pokemon, and it's a good utility mon too as well, and also it can be a special setup mon, so it gets Calm Mind as well. So next up we got Mudsdale with 8 points. And honestly, I think Mudsdale was a really great choice. Just unfortunately very slow at 35. Has very good HP with 100 and 125 base attack, as well as that whopping 100 defense as well. The good thing is, I will say, it can take some special hits too with that base 85. It just can't do anything special, and it's very slow. So not too disappointed, but the only thing is I really wanted a great ground type, and Mudsdale was just sitting right there. All the other Pokemon that were better ground types, I think, at least in my opinion, got picked up. But I respect Mudsdale, and I think it's a really great choice, especially with that stamina ability. I think it's a really good. Also, it's also an alternative for Garganacl. So if a team is running like fighting types and stuff like that, I can at least get some kind of neutral stuff going on here with Mudsdale, as well as I can set up Spike or Stealth Rocks with him. It's a good roar user as well, so you can get some roar strategies going on, so people don't set up in your face. It's a pretty good Pokemon all around. Own Tempo is pretty good, and then Inner Focus too, but I feel like Stamina is probably the best ability it gets. So to finish it all off and hopefully round the team off a little bit, we also ended up with our final pick being 3 points, Muck. And Muck is a really interesting choice because I feel like, I mean, I've never used it. First off, I really never used Grime or anything like that, unless it's the Alola version of him. But Muck being just a pure poison typing, it's a very good offensive type, I feel, and maybe even a little bit of a defensive type too. Stench is an interesting ability. I need to double check to see if that's like an okay ability to run. But Stench is there to kind of cause some random flinches here and there, but Sticky Hold is there too, so if I happen to get knocked off, I won't ever lose my item that I have on it. It could be like a Black Sludge, which is pretty good, so don't have to run double leftovers, which I think you still can in this league, which is not too bad. But Poison Touch is also another good ability, so just in case if I don't want to worry too much about poison, it's kind of just sitting in the back, and for a 30% chance, I would say, but it's a pretty good ability just to kind of have just in case. But I think maybe Sticky Hold might be a really good one, as well as Stench. Very good. It gets Shadow Sneak as well, so some random priority. So very good. It gets a lot of the elemental punches too, which is actually kind of funny. It gets Drain Punch for survivability. And I think it's a good Pokemon overall, you know, with base 105 attack as well as 105 HP. And it's a surprisingly a special wall with 100 in special defense. So, but those are your Texas Tyrunts for the IBA Season 6 League. You know, let me know what you guys think down below. And maybe even some fun strategies if you guys have any. So, but I'm very much looking forward to this. This week that this was posted, or the next week of it, you're going to be seeing a whole bunch of battles, because I am a little late. I think by the time of recording this, it is already supposed to be like week 4. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of your hair. This video's already gone long enough, and I hope with editing it kind of cut it up a little bit shorter. But with that being said, I'm very excited. I'm Sunaak. I'm the coach of the Texas Tyrunts. All the coaches will be linked down below. Please do me a favor and check them out. They're very, very great people, and the IBA League has always been a fun great group of people. So definitely check them out. And hey, maybe join yourself one of these leagues. So with that being said, see y'all in the next one.